Parfait, on va pouvoir continuer l'aventure Disco Elysium. La dernière fois on était devenu cryptozoologue pour une journée en aidant le mari de Lena Morel à enquêter sur le Phasmid. Ah parfait, on est ici. Je voulais tester un truc, c'était d'aller vendre les objets de vêtements qui me donnent des malus, que je trouve un peu inutiles, ou ceux qui me donnent des trucs moins bien que ceux que j'ai en double. Aujourd'hui on va essayer de convaincre, on va faire le soir la musique. Il faudra pas oublier à 21h, faut se rendre chez l'autre. Instrument physique, logique. Logique, autorité. Visuel, empathique, logique, logique. Oh, attends voir, je peux vendre ça?
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb.
Ouais.
Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Hyundal burning.
Sentir le t-shirt.
Smells like worn cotton and a little old sweat there. Worn cotton with a side of flea market or trash bin.
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't have you leaving your photon emissions in the fabric of things you're not going to buy.
You're not imagining it. Photon emissions?
2 real.
That's dirt cheap.
On va pas simplement me l'offrir.
But why?
Je suis un flic fauché, sans tiron en poche.
I sympathize, I do. But this is a for-profit enterprise.
Vas-y.
Welcome to Hyundal, officer.
Vêtements. Hop là. Bon, au final, c'était pas pour ça que je venais. Ah, putain, ça me gratte la jambe. Mais on prend. On va aller explorer, je pense. Comment il s'appelle? L'église. J'ai juste envie de reparler un coup avec le vieux René.
Officer! Ah
non. Je ne peux pas.
God damn it. Pull yourself together, run.
Est-ce qu'on va chercher notre arme près d'Evart? Après, Evart n'a pas notre arme pour le moment, donc il peut pas vraiment nous refiler notre arme en vrai. Donc lui donner la lettre, c'est pas très rentable en vrai. Ah, une fesse géante, ok. Dans le côté de la radio, ok. C'est pas très rentable de lui donner la lettre. Si on sait que ça va défavoriser les habitants entre guillemets. Est-ce que ça je peux faire? Rhétorique. Alors est-ce que j'ai des trucs qui augmentent la rhétorique? Rhétorique oui. Encyclopédie. En scène. Subtilisation, rhétorique -1. Chic, subtilisation, électrochimie, ouais non j'ai qu'un peu d'un ok.
You're back before the cargo container. And as it's all...
Fuck. Je préfère pour le moment n'avoir que des bonus. Hop. Tiens, est-ce que je peux reparler avec... Il n'y a pas une caisse ici? Avec lui, pour lui dire que j'ai découvert c'était quoi dans la bouffe.
Oh, hey, mister! I'm not gonna...
Non. Hop. Pêche ici.
Mr. Dubois, every worker...
Et membre du conseil est un organe... C'est un membre du conseil.
That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too. How can I help you today?
Oui, signature comme je l'ai demandé.
No, you didn't. I know the mailman, Harry. I know everyone and everything that happens in this town, and I know there's no letter in that mailbox yet. Just like I know you'll get it done. Once you stop horsing around, let me know when it's done.
Vous voulez parler du village de pêcheurs?
Yes, yes, the little... By all means, Harry. What's on your mind? What?
Il la rend encore plus louche, je ne l'ai pas fait compter de l'alcool, mais plus maintenant.
Did I? Well done then, Harry. I like not knowing about it, and I'm sure you made the right call. I spend the whole day delegating tasks, and I don't even want to know what all of that means. Brew, shady, alcohol, turned off. Ah, yes, your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business.
Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that then.
Ok. On a rien à foutre. C'est en fluent. Ah, j'ai pas envie de donner la lettre hein, pour Edward. Ça me ferait chier quoi de donner la lettre. Parce que je sais que c'est une femme que le syndicat recherche qui a mon arme et pas le syndicat, donc je me dis que lui donner l'arme ce serait un peu du gaspillage quoi. Lui donner la lettre c'est un peu du gaspillage quoi. Est-ce que toi t'as des choses à dire en plus?
Right to work!
Non, t'as rien à dire en plus. On va aller vous retourner voir le camion qu'on a enfoncé.
A lorry abandoned. The smell of cigarette. You close the rusty
Ok, non,
old.
y a rien de plus. Est-ce que lui, j'ai des nouveaux points que je peux mettre contre lui pour... Parce que je crois qu'il faut que je fasse un G à lui.
Now it's turning into a kind of a...
Conceptualisation. Est-ce que j'ai la conceptualisation? Et une balle, super. Je crois pas que j'ai de conceptualisation dans mes objets. Si, j'en ai un. Deux en plus. Ok. Projection analytique. Tiens. Nope.
Now it's turning into a kind of a...
No, just
Ok, ok, je comprends, ça veut pas. Hop. Attends, ça c'est moins bien, bon je la conception, non. Ok d'accord, non c'est pas la même chose. Est-ce qu'il y a du monde là? Il y a personne encore, ouais, il y a personne. Perception, est-ce que je peux retenter?
again. You find yourself looking at that big old window.
Note dans l'atelier.
Nothing, as always. By now, you're almost certain there may be a sparrow's nest on. Keep at it. There must be a reason you've looked out this window so.
97%, j'ai fait un échec critique. J'ai envie de crever. Pourquoi sur la carte j'ai Engagement? Choice meilleur, ok. J'ai un jet de conceptualisation avec elle à faire. Je m'en souviens pas. Hmm. Là, il n'y a rien de plus. Conceptualisation, il est où? Esprit de corps, non. Attends, on va voir ça, j'ai déjà. C'était un peu blanc, je crois, c'était ça, ouais.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? By love, you did.
Fast, observantly, like an electronic.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead.
A strange coldness.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Je suis mauvais, hop. Logique, hop. On va retourner au front de mer, hop. Pour aller explorer l'église, parce que j'ai tout fait le reste, de ce que je me souvienne. 24 balles, ouais, j'ai pas assez pour les chaussures parce que c'est 50. Objet. J'ai pas trop envie de vendre les trucs que j'ai. 11 €. Ok. J'ai envie de tout garder, moi. Direction l'église, hop. Allons l'inspecter. Ah, il est sous là. Dans l'église. La sécurité plusieurs semble manquer. 51 centimes. Hôtel enveloppé pas ténèbres, un truc dans le genre, il fait trop semblant de distinguer quoi que ce soit.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Examinez la
The
charpente.
carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Passez votre main sur une
The
tige.
surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area, its black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Ok. Oh. Très stylé. Attends, je calme vos envies lorsque vous regardez, vous devrez marcher ici, non, vous précipitez. Figurine grotesque en bois à la moitié terminée. Essaie de fondre dans l'église. Motif d'éclair, comme celui-ci que vous avez vu dehors. Le tableau est rempli d'équations complexes, elles ont l'air récentes. Elle est remplie d'un câble tension.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shift in matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Mais je crois que j'entends quelque chose.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums, you can hardly hear your own breathing.
Taper du pied, frapper vos mains.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total.
Qui est aussi fort que possible.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving.
Que se passe-t-il?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head.
Can you hear anything?
Parce que ça commence à sérieusement
The
inquiéter.
church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is.
Et en soi, c'est bien réel, un phénomène étrange se produit autour de
The
nous.
lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you.
Regardez les clochers.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Essayez de voir de la descendre. Nice. Et là, je vois un monstre immense. Oh, c'est stylé. Oh, c'est
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows.
Plafond.
Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. It's climbing down, holding on the beams.
Suivre les mouvements de l'ombre.
It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go?
Oh shit.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it. The shadow is a man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently.
C'est un police, montrez-vous.
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry. Everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites ici?
I'm here to receive the mother's love. You can too, Holmes. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of that despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Pas difficile à gérer ça. Attends, je suis policier, je suis là pour faire mon boulot. L'alcool m'intéresse pas.
Oh, yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here.
Je vais très bien, merci.
I know it's hard to admit that you got a problem. I was like you once. Couldn't take an honest look into my own heart and see I was in pain.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
L'alcool fait partie de mon identité, ça n'a aucun sens. Je sais même pas de quoi vous parlez. C'est un mot tout ça, imbécile, il faudrait qu'on discute de l'occupation égale de la répressive. Sans, je ne sais pas de quoi vous parlez.
You know what this is? It's truth, Holmes. Join me. Become one with it. Aflame with the mother's love. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
This Mother of Silence sounds like a serious player. You might want to be careful until you find out what you're dealing with.
Vous venez de redescendre du clocher de l'église ou quoi?
Sure did, Holmes.
Vous êtes humain, vous voulez passer pas comme un être humain.
I am, at least in part, Holmes. Into the mother's love burns away the cruel distinctions of the body.
Vous n'êtes pas du comment dire ici.
Haven't you ever met a Mex before? Cabron. Surprising number of us around Ravishaw.
Un mesque?
You know, I'm not so sure myself anymore. Don't really matter, though.
Moi, vous êtes humain, je suis sous le...
Glad you're feeling more comfortable. First-timers are always nervous.
Je pense qu'on est... Pas qu'on ait le droit de vivre dans le plafond de l'église, c'est sûrement contraire à la loi.
Oh man, I would love to see that statue. I'm sure I'd be trespassing if the church was in use. But it's not, hombre. I done my share of illegal shit. Used to be in a gang, the whole deal. But even memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
Ouais, si j'ai perdu la mémoire, mais c'est pas grave, au contraire, c'est l'occasion de se créer une nouvelle identité en partant de zéro.
That's not really the point, I say. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of the mother, that is.
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information. He's just trying to assert some control over...
Tiago's my name. But those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity. Your place amongst your fellows. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
Alors, il tend la main pour le salut.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites ici?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Qui cette mère du silence dont vous n'arrêtez pas de causer?
Oh, that's no simple question, I said. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
Qu'est-ce qui va arriver quand vous boirez directement de la brèche?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
Est-ce que ça revient pas à changer de rue, simplement?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you. To his very own self.
Pas faux.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
Comment toujours pas
I
ce que
know
vous faites
it
dans
will take
l'église?
time. I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Vous pouvez me chanter un truc, un petit air de votre cru?
I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent as the mother.
He lost his cool there for a moment. Seems you hit some nerve. Wait, he says he didn't remember anything about being Mesk. And now he remembers this.
Ouais, vous vous souvenez plus de votre vie de mesque.
Things come back in flashes when something reminds me. Sometimes they even seem important again. Really important. But then, thanks to the mother, they're gone again. But I was talking about the singing of a burning heart. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound.
C'est métaphorique, mais techniquement c'est vrai. Comment vous êtes-vous retrouvé ici?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me.
Je vois, j'ai encore des questions.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Un peu non. Il y a longtemps que vous êtes ici depuis quand l'église était déserte?
Police raid a while back.
Okay.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Les jeunes fêtards veulent transformer l'église en boîte de nuit.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me.
Est-ce qu'ils ont une bonne raison d'avoir peur?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. and I don't harm no one anymore.
Ah, tu faisais du mal avant.
Though he used to,
Ouais.
a long time
Du
ago.
coup, qu'est-ce que vous en pensez de la boîte de nuit, je veux dire?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go.
Bon bah, let's go.
Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Ça, je trouve l'autre padin, il montrait les drôles de machines du coin.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes?
Tu sais, quand il y a quelqu'un d'autre dans l'église et c'est un vieillita.
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Peut-être la camionneuse qu'on cherche. Vous savez pas où elle se trouve.
That's what I said, Holmes.
Même curieux, vous habitez tous les deux ici, non?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
Vous n'avez rien d'autre à me dire. À quoi ressemble-t-elle et que fait-elle ici? Qui est-elle?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer.
D'accord, merci. Ok. Vitrail coloré et craquelé. C'est quoi ça? C'est une écharpe? Douleur transcendée, ok. J'ai recouvert qui est une silhouette de ça dessinée dans le géo pour la fenêtre. Et tissé toile pied en bois, ok. Empathie plus 1, let's go. Des sous, on prend. Niveau chaussures, on a quoi? Perception. Okay, on va garder pour le moment la perception. Je veux juste reprendre dans une main au cas où ça. Un étonneur gravé de la marque Awan Woshi. Sûrement soit-il en cours. Deux platines de magnétolecteur tournent dans le vide, ok. Quelqu'un détourne de l'électricité depuis l'extérieur, il monte cette antenne.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Vous avez raison. Notre petite sauvegarde, il est quelle heure? 18h41, faut que j'aille à 21h.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty.
Très stylé l'image.
Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
Se
Your
prosterner.
knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass.
Fermez les yeux d'abord.
The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you. It covers you from the wind outside. In the darkness, you sense her eyes on you, inspecting you with their multicolored glass, as if you're a bug under a microscope.
Dans les yeux.
The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips, and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse?
Et de la compassion.
As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
La même chose en se revelant.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile. sundered by the crack in the glass.
Projection analytique.
The shards glimmer in the dark. You see little pearls of light. It's a mystery sprinkled with self-pity and regret. For some reason, all you know is, this is the young mother of humanity, and that you should go. Do something else. Escape her sad, worry-worn look.
C'est qui ça qui m'a...
It's Dolores Day. The old woman was right. This is the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the Small Pinewood Church in some records.
Vous connaissez cet endroit?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Ravachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
Vous pouvez m'en dire plus?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
A pang of guilt. The lieutenant is leaving something out.
C'est pourquoi l'église a été abandonnée?
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here.
Il a déchargé l'intervention.
Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
Vous n'êtes pas sûr?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them.
Je suis peut-être déjà venu
I'm
ici.
sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters.
Si j'ai parti de cette opération, je serais mieux de découvrir le rôle que je joue ici.
Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
Ok.
The mother of humanism stands.
Ah, j'ai envie d'examiner le truc, hein, sauvegarder.
A machine stand. The lieutenant. You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Regardez l'intérieur du compartiment.
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good afternoon. Votre accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Mais la dédie se contente d'indiquer registre feu mars.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something.
Pas le mot de passe.
Received. Votre accident. Is there any... Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is still...
Parce qu'effectivement, lui, il connaîtrait pas le mot de passe par hasard.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
Vous n'avez pas entendu le mot de passe de le Vieillita par hasard?
Too many times, essay.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Un tel personnage pour recueillir. Réaliser l'étude pour le mot de passe en identifier tendance générale dans l'optique de protection du grand public, bien sûr.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
That is true. But what comes after death?
What do you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña when I hear it. I think we're done here, Essay.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
Ok, après la vie, c'est la mort.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The speaker.
Good afternoon. Votre accident. Good. Please repeat. Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Merci.
Sleep well, votre accident.
The machine's keyboard is still. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
On sait que ce registre est lié à l'affaire?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
Et un deuxième billet.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting.
I doubt that we can find any. It's just idle fishermen's gossip to scare away the kids. Nothing spooky about this place either. It's just abandoned and cold, and in an awful part of town.
Then why doth the lieutenant protest against spending time here so often? 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Pourquoi est-ce qu'elle a besoin d'une antenne?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. Artists, yet again. Harassing citizens, stealing badges, occupying public spaces with installations. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
La perte de données?
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
C'est qui ces artistes, ces programmeurs, cette Lexi? Lexi, on n'a pas une Lexi, non?
I think these people worked in the radio computer games business.
Ah, okay.
The one we saw in the Doom commercial area.
Ah si, oui.
They must be her former co-workers.
On va voir la meuf du coup.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
Bien, le 6e billet.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Oh.
Is she talking about?
Bien, le 7e billet.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Regardez les bols d'eau derrière vous.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples.
Bien, le 8e billet.
March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again.
Okay.
Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work.
Sûrement un seul.
The girl on the ice?
Bien, le 9e billet.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse.
Oh, c'est nous ça.
How Martinez of her.
C'est moi, j'ai fouillé dans cet ordinateur et la conversation doit être plaisance.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also, some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Madame, la police, enchanté.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
Qui font une affaire annexe pour le compte d'organisateur de concert.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here.
La machine Montmerlot.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
Ok.
What is it?
Dites, vous savez pas par hasard la programmeuse en chef de Willard, le Cataclysme?
Yes. Or no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
J'ai rien cassé, pareil.
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
C'est moi, mais vous êtes qui en fait? Qu'est-ce que vous fabriquez ici?
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
On a déjà vu le type qui crèche sur les poutres?
Nope.
Mais vous savez qu'il est là?
Yes.
Lui, il vous a vu.
And?
Du coup, c'est un important, j'imagine.
No. You're right. I'm not.
Qu'est-ce qu'elles font là, toutes ces machines?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
Pourquoi avez-vous besoin d'une antenne?
I use the AR1 as my RAIN Prefect processing unit.
Une seconde, quoi?
RAIN Prefect. My radio computer.
L'antenne, c'est son processeur.
Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
Pas vraiment.
All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
Tout le monde commence ça dans les airs.
On the front, the unified front of radio waves, licensed and controlled by Lintel in the East Insulindic region. It's all around us. That's what on air means.
Et là, c'est une bonne antenne.
I guess it is. So far, I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market, so I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing.
Okay.
She liked telling you this. It calmed her nerves.
Qu'est-ce que vous fabriquez avec ce radio-ordinateur?
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. The light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Sur quoi?
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
Alors quoi, c'est
They are connected to my reign prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Je vais essayer la question suivante.
Great.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites dans une église abandonnée?
You really like those questions, don't you?
They're bloodshots. She really hasn't been getting much sleep lately, has she?
Les flics posent des questions.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
Genre de recherche.
I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Est-ce que le trou lié à la perle doit être mentionné dans le registre?
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
Trou dans le monde, c'est dire quoi exactement?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
Attention, votre réponse.
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
Quand trouver à discuter d'un truc qui n'existe pas, alors les parle pas, je suis là pour jouer aux scientifiques, je suis un meurtre sur la main. Si, tu es en train, je sais pas comment, on trouve discuter d'un truc qui n'existe pas, alors le mesurer, n'en parlons pas.
You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins. But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
But does it have anything to do with necroplasmic life forms? Ghosts?
Est-ce que vos recherches portent sur les fantômes?
Ghosts? No, I don't think so. I don't believe in ghosts.
Sur d'autres entités surnaturelles peut-être?
I don't believe in them either.
Ouais, les gens l'ignorent, mais les necroplasmes existent vraiment.
Great. What are we talking about? And why?
C'est très... Vous savez à peu près où on peut le trouver, ce trou?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
On va y voir clair avec ce
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower disappearing into the shade.
Okay.
Strange things may flourish in the dark.
Pourquoi cet endroit?
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
C'est là que l'homme crabe est installé.
I know.
C'est que l'homme crabe a une part de responsabilité dans cette histoire?
No.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning. Her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
Vous avez dit que vos recherches n'avançaient pas, pourquoi ça?
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
Ce que je veux savoir, je suis terrifié entre 2000 et dans été pour l'instant.
Great. Thanks. The Swallow, you mean?
Non.
Great. Thanks.
C'est quoi de l'anodique danse musique?
What? I hate it.
T'es à la quarantaine ou quoi? Tout pareil, c'est unique ou rosette pour moi. Vous tenez... Tape sur le cœur, pas comme le disco en tout cas.
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
D'accord, d'accord, mais une boîte de nuit, si c'est dans la délinquance, musique, vous en direz quoi?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
Qu'est-ce que c'est alors?
Take a guess, why don't you?
Je pense toujours que j'aurai une boîte à dépenser. Alors ouais, ils ont dit club pour les jeunes, c'est sympa. Mélanger avec des animaux caressés. On fait des personnages et peut-être un club pour les jeunes, c'est sympa.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Oh, la musique dans l'église aussi, elle est incroyable. Hop. Allons parler avec les camés. Je peux ramasser son truc.
The shaggy head.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us?
Avoir quelques questions à
With the
se poser.
church? Shoot.
Que tu m'en dises plus sur tes associés.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
Comment ça, tu sais certainement des choses sur eux?
Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on.
Non, tu viens qu'à me parler de toi.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
Ouais, bon, on va en parler une autre fois.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
Ok. Tant pis. Hop là. C'était un spray pour le nez. La marque nous a fait d'ultra.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Il veut régler ses problèmes de synoïde, mais c'est quoi le souci avec elle?
He's a quiet man. Mostly communicates through music and by being a master of ceremonies.
Comment est-ce que tu communiques avec lui?
Well, he's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
Tu as déjà parlé pour de vrai.
Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his center, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak
l'église
for
appartenait à des
itself.
classiques. Qui sont ces gens?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
Continue, tu peux m'expliquer ce que dire météorien?
You know, of Meteo, concerning Meteo.
Un pays où je sais pas trop quoi, la géographie, ça va bien devenir, il parle d'autre chose.
Yes.
On pose des questions sur ta tente pleine de matériel.
Yes.
Je vois que tu as apporté ta propre eau.
Yeah, good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
En plus, c'est de l'eau d'ici.
Oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
Faites quoi avec tous nos affaires?
The what now?
Les flacons de Buffel, le soin nadal, les affaires ultra, genre tous les flacons. Tout un tas de flacons là-bas.
Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe.
Tant t'as l'air en forme.
Yes, that's all Nosafed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosafed is the shit.
Problème de pif.
Sure.
Merci.
Here you go, officer.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Faut de l'église. Depuis combien de temps ces gens sont-ils enfermés là-dedans?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
Oh, peux-tu être sûr qu'ils ne sont pas morts de faim?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Être sûr à 85% n'est pas suffisant quand on parle du bien-être physique d'une autre personne.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Dire cette chose très barbante. Chiant comme la pluie. Ah bah super! Super, je suis chiant comme la pluie, super! Putain.
I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that. Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are.
D'accord, j'ai
I'm
d'autres
glad
questions.
that key is out of my hands now.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know.
Je vais aller faire un
Let's
tour
do
dans
it.
l'église.
And
Si c'est avec une
what happened?
silhouette de l'homme qui grimpe sur le putain d'homme qui vit au plafond.
Oh man, the crab man, you mean? Who is he? What did you think?
Honnêtement, il a l'air sympa. Il accorde une grande place à la spiritualité.
Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
Ses journées à prêcher après, visiblement.
No matter. Is he gonna be a problem?
Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we gonna do about him?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
Il se maintient en forme, tout en accordant une grande place à la spiritualité. Le pire, c'est qu'il ne picole même pas. Je me vois mal expulser un type comme ça.
But he's likely up to no good. He's a crab man, man. A menace to society.
Non. Maintenant, avec quoi qu'il en soit, c'est impossible d'attraper, si vous voulez mon avis.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
Pas de quoi s'inquiéter, il n'en a pas grand chose à foutre des gens, ni de vous, ni de personne en fait.
I guess it's not a massive problem. Now,
everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light.
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her?
J'ai utilisé l'unité centrale, mais cela, l'ancienne programmeuse en chef de Fortress Accident est intervenue.
A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub?
Elle indique que vous cachiez les choses.
Come on, man. Who will you trust? A spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place.
Feel the love! Get down and feel it!
Et je commence à sentir enfin l'amour, non, je sens pas trop.
You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing and pumping. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea.
Il est la discothèque, ça ne dit
musique. Rocking it or dropping it.
Ne lui plaît pas.
What a pity! That's my favourite thing in the world, and she doesn't like it at all.
Ouais.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam and into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
Unity! Dance!
Elle ne bougera pas tant qu'elle n'aura pas fini son projet.
And you can't just evict her?
Non, je veux pas l'expulser, il faut trouver une autre solution.
Look at you, honor man.
Ouais, flic honorable.
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music.
The lines in the dark exist. Coexist.
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like Nordic dance music?
Absolument pas, elle l'arbore de tout son être.
Egghead cannot believe what you just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries, we'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you.
On se doit flanquer dehors, mais je peux essayer de la convaincre.
Excellent! Good luck, my friend.
Logique, c'est pour le moment.
Goodbye, officer.
On va essayer de mettre full logique, hop, pour tenter de les convaincre avec diabolique. Hop, est-ce que j'ai d'autres trucs? J'avais pas des lunettes qui me filaient de la logique aussi, ça je me donne de la logique. Pédie, projection, bâti. Logique plus 4.
Hi again. So, how things going?
L'arcomanie est une plaie.
A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look. How about gather around, kids?
On les jeunes approchés.
The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
Non, je ne sais pas dire exactement quand ni comment, je suis tombé malade. Applique-moi apparence spectrale, seulement. Mais avant d'arriver là, je travaillais vraiment sans par police. Là, ça va être avancé, ça tient pas debout.
But you still are!
Encore jamais, il suffit d'un coup d'œil pour se rendre compte que je suis un flic raté. Quand je me débrouillais plus tôt, j'ai obtenu le grade de lieutenant et Fator. Devenir capitaine, j'ai un peu capitaine ça de la gueule.
What happened?
Mes souhaits entrés en place. Ma vie m'a trop défoncé, j'ai besoin d'une autre balle. En fait, j'ai fait une scission avec quand même. Un disco est entré dans la place.
I've been trying to say we need the next step in dance music to happen fast.
Shut it!
What? I have! I said that!
Vraiment, peut-être que tout ça remonte à plus d'un millénaire, hein, mais je n'ai pas entièrement perdu mes réflexes en quittant.
The young speed freak is silent. He senses something is wrong.
Impressionnant, vous ne me dites pas la vérité, votre réponse ne m'a pas convaincu. Pas un projet de discothèque, il n'y a que du matériel. Il n'y a que du matériel de laboratoire dans cette temps, du matériel pour produire de la drogue.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
Et son pote, il a perdu son
What
pote.
do you mean, friend?
L'autre parleur, il n'y en a qu'un.
It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
Vous n'avez pas de casque. Assel en a forcément besoin pour faire tourner ses platines, non?
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing.
Vous servez d'une nosafète pour son principe actif.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
De le distiller rien de tel que pour garantir la propreté d'un labo.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
Je vais peut-être m'arrêter là. Qu'est-ce que vous en pensez?
No shit.
Impressionnant, en gros, vous avez essayé de vous servir d'un policier pour installer un labo de drogue.
That's... Come on, that's...
Absurde.
I meant to say, not true.
Impressionnant, vous n'avez pas dit la vérité. Votre réponse ne m'a pas convaincu.
Fuck, man. It's difficult to get along with some people, but we're trying to make an effort. We are on a mission here.
Qu'est-ce que je vais bien pouvoir faire de vous?
What do you mean,
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing. The optimal way to go about this would be indifference. It begins by you telling him you don't care about any of this.
Really?
Sur que non, je suis flic, bon, assez déconné, dites-moi ce que vous avez me
Who
gazer.
else?
Sans une clé à molette à la souhaitière, entendez un petit marqué. Pas plaquerie ni vous jeter au trou, je suis le plus gros époux du quartier. Je sais pas quand, je vais vous pourrir l'existence c'est en contact. Je suis le plus gros époux du quartier, et pas quand, je vais vous pourrir l'existence comme ça, je fais des contacts.
He thinks for a moment, then opens his mouth, but closes it again. Then finally raises his hands.
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into the wickedest club in East Revershaw.
Because we are! We totally are!
Oh, putain.
We just got to turn it into a speed lab first.
Putain de merde.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
Et pourquoi est-ce que vous avez besoin de moi?
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
Ils ont rien de flippant en vrai.
No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
So, what now?
This is it. Judgment time.
Quel matériel est présentez-vous au poste 41. Excusez, on va faire ça probablement avec une discothèque d'anodique musique sans labo de speed. Je sais pas, ça va, faites ce que vous voulez. Sans le matériel, pensez-vous au poste 41.
No, please! There needs to be a club for anodic music in there. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time.
Beaucoup plus vieux et abattu.
He looks almost as old as you.
We need a win. I promise you this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful.
This will be nothing. You can hear the ice cracking underneath you. Outside on the pier, the last century development crumbles in the wind. A grape-shot row of fallen houses, and so does Rue de Saint-Giron and Main Street. The old cinema is sinking underneath Villa La Bosse.
Donc, une seconde, vous avez senti ça.
What?
La loi, c'est la loi. Si vous ne présentez pas poste, vous serez considéré comme définitif et vous ferez l'objet d'un mandat d'arrêt.
No! What does that even mean?
Fuck, man. I thought we were cool. What happens at the station?
Commencez par présenter vos cartes d'identité. Ils vont examiner cette affaire. Il y aura des poursuites judiciaires ou pas, on verra. Ignorez la question. Vous allez commencer par présenter vos cartes d'identité.
The would-be leader pulls out a card from his jacket pocket and hands it to you. The name reads Pete Andre. His friend hands you his papers. The name reads Carl Holtzman.
Jermaine Van der Weyck.
Cette serait sa carte, son nom complet est Germain Van der Weyck. Et les noms, on peut remettre chacun un formulaire.
I guess that's that.
Pack it up, Egg.
Yes?
Ok. Bon, tant pis pour la gamine. Elle est traînée avec des faiseurs de drogue. Hop là.
Yes, what is it?
La bande de jeux fêtards nouveau dans la page s'est arrêtée pour préméditation de trafic de stupéfiants.
You arrested them? Didn't think the cops in this place had it in them.
Hop. Ok. Bon. Ça c'est fait. Bon coup. On va se déplacer ici. On va aller chanter un coup. Je pense qu'il y a un peu plus de monde du coup là maintenant. Oui, il y a un peu plus de monde, parfait. Alors, que je regarde, il me faut quoi comme bonus?
The stage is... You feel...
So, are you ready?
Art dramatique. Art dramatique, art dramatique, art dramatique. Est-ce que j'ai d'autres bonus là-dessus? Art dramatique, j'ai pas l'impression. Petit, douleur transcendée. Les trucs qui enlèvent de l'art dramatique. Non, j'ai pas l'impression. Petite sauvegarde, hop.
The stage is... You feel...
So, are you ready for your thing?
Bouillon gardé, envoyez la sauce.
Let me know when I should...
The air is thick with anticipation.
Attends, je veux réussir le jet par contre. Hop, charger. Je veux réussir le jet de musique. Je recharge pas beaucoup, c'est pas comme sur Baldur's Gate, je veux réussir.
The stage is... You feel...
So, are you ready for your...
The air is thick.
Ah. Mais bon, ça va, c'est plus rapide que sur Baldur's Gate pour réussir léger quoi. C'est dommage qu'il n'y ait pas un petit F8 là qui est impossible.
So, are you ready for your...
The air
nice.
is thick with anticipation. Someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
Oh, ok, mais sur moi MDR.
I would often go there, to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Saint-San, though it once was larger. How the realm may rest there. Down through the mist there, toward the Seven Sisters, toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there. In that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here. Looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
En vrai, c'était très propre. Le supérieur. Né de cet endroit dans l'église ici, la petite église de Sainte-Seine, Monsieur dit, quand est créé, ça aura un jour le ruisseau se reposera dans la brume, on dormira auprès des 7 sœurs, cette falaise blafarde, il admirera, serait souvent là-bas, dans la petite cour, en contrebas, à la recherche de mon passé, j'ai demeuré béat, mais aujourd'hui il n'y a que toi, alors tout ceci n'importe pas.
A lazy applause fills the room. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you.
J'aurais dédié cette chanson à Garth pour me laisser le droit de chanter. Quelle merde, Garth. J'aurais dédié cette chanson à même si, s'il vous plaît, ne vient pas. Je vais dédier cette chanson à personne. Je chante pour moi-même.
The lieutenant doesn't say anything, but gives you a quick smile. He's incapable of blushing, but if he weren't, he'd blush.
Good, good. Are we ready? I want to unplug the microphone now.
Last words?
La nuit viendra et nous y serons de grand voile à travers le monde. Ils sont nous. Merci Martinez. Let's go. Ah, c'était pas si horrible.
Ah, smallest church in Saint-Saëns, right?
J'ai assuré comme un dieu.
It was all right. Subdued. I might start letting people up there again. Now, what can I do?
Ok, vêtements, on va reprendre. Non, pas ça. Hop. Logique. Hop. On va retourner voir la meuf dans le toit, sur le toit. J'ai un point de... Je vais voir pour enlever le visage dégueulasse là, je l'ai ras le cul. Est-ce que je peux enlever la cravate?
This fan has two... Or has it been consigned there?
C'est en scène, ok. Ça c'est quoi alors?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your clean-shaven face, adorned with the expression. You're still not accustomed to it.
Pas l'outil en main, ok. Attends voir. Attends voir. Inventaire.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it...
J'ai pas d'autres trucs qui me donnent de l'affinité mécanique. Par hasard, mise en scène. Trop. Pas l'impression malheureusement. Mise en scène. Scène, activité, clair obscur. Fuck, non, j'ai rien. Vas-y, on va
A
tenter.
mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. The chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure. You've probably never been a plumber.
On va mettre un point en électrochimie alors. Et vêtements, est-ce que j'ai des trucs qui me donnent de l'électrochimie? Oui. Électrochimie plus 1, hop. Ouais, hop. Est-ce que j'ai d'autres trucs qui me donnent de l'électrochimie? Je crois que j'avais... Non, pas ça. Petit, devoir transcender, devoir transcender. Pas l'impression que j'ai d'autres choses.
The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand enters the pocket, your fingers brush against something. Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you have time. Something about the wrapper's texture is familiar. Not familiar in a good way, you might say. There's pain in this. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your clean-shaven face, adorned with the still not happening. It won't come off.
Hop. Et un pantalon, c'était ça. Est-ce que j'ai pas d'autres pantalons qui m'évitent les malus? Non. Non. Hop. Interagir. Affecter l'objet d'inventaire pour le bouton interagir. Un papier de chewing-gum.
A crinkled chewing gum wrapper. The worn label reads, Tutti Frutti. It smells faintly of apricots, with a barely noticeable twinge of cinnamon.
D'abord, pourquoi je me préoccupe de ça?
Good question. There is no answer or secret phrase written on the inside of the wrapper. Yet you're drawn to it. Drawn by regret. Stop before you hurt yourself with the Tutti Frutti wrapper. You carefully fold the wrapper into a square before putting it back into your pocket, lovingly even, despite the strange feeling of regret.
Ok. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres trucs à lui demander à elle ou pas?
I was just thinking, what?
Ok. Ok, ça on peut redescendre. On va penser, allez, au truc chez 21 à 21h. Map. Carte épinglée. Difficile. Ah mais il essaie de le voler. Pas encore 21h donc on peut peut-être y aller. Hop. Hop. Est-ce que j'ai d'autres affinités mécaniques?
Several maps. The maps look old and faded.
I'm sorry, they're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Mars. Yes, yes. Are you interested?
This large map, Ozon, in the north, radiating outward. You can. Lost. The ocean connection you have lit. Perhaps they are the north to the east. Hudon. It's so. No, no. The north cut to the Hudon. It's so. No, no. This is.
I'm sorry, officer. They're quite valuable. Though that old thing, from when some design. They didn't get that far.
The plaque on the shelf reads.
Y'a pas des trucs à voler?
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to crime.
Non, ok. Tant pis. Il y a un truc en fille que j'ai
Still
pas.
here,
Non,
stuck in this damn.
Est-ce que c'est là-dessus, non?
An old monument.
C'est là-dedans, non?
A lorry abandoned. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. A metallic drawer slides. The pull-out tool. You close the right.
Hop.
A lorry stuck in the windows are clear.
On va aller dans le bâtiment abandonné, on va utiliser le mot de passe que après la vie c'est la mort. Pour l'ancienne société, voir si on peut avoir des infos dessus sur le jeu de société. Hop là. Inventaire. Parce que Kim va être en mode la lumière, tout ça, hop. Hop. C'est moi, j'ai pas mon sac dans l'autre main. J'ai pas mon sac dans l'autre main.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The speaker.
Good evening. Please repeat. Is this the good? Please repeat good. I've unlocked the production schedule.
Really? She just used the same password?
Eh ouais.
Maybe those radio computer guys aren't that paranoid after all.
Fortress accident. Is there a thank you?
Tiles on the cube with a quiet determination. The printer starts printing. A piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan. It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott, about Whirl Untethered, a radio game developed by Studio Fortress. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule.
Sur le capital, je veux tout savoir sur l'argent.
In its short time of existence, Fortress Accident, SCA, managed to burn through truly insane amounts of money. The first tranche of seed financing brought in 150,000 Ria, but then came the delays. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 Ria, with only half of the game finished. 400,000 Ria? Yo. These guys knew how to party. Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igaunian investor.
Sur l'équipe qui a bossé ici pendant combien de temps?
Fortress Accident employed 18 people. The bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. There were also radio programmers, sound engineers, a CEO, 2 marketing experts, and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his obligations. But on the other hand, their obligations were piling up at an inhumane rate, a rate that could only be amended by Pyrrolidon. Why did Fortress Accident have so many concept artists?
Une seconde, pourquoi est-ce qu'il y a fallait autant d'artistes pour un jeu radiophonique?
It didn't.
Il n'était pas nécessaire d'avoir autant d'illustrateurs?
No, definitely not. A few more producers could have come in handy though, especially when dealing with writers, some of whom routinely skip to work because of mental health issues and extremely unprofessional sleep schedules. One of them even managed to steal some valuable company property before skipping town for good.
Feuilletez le planning de production, même si vous ne savez pas ce que c'est.
The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy.
Cause des illustrateurs?
Not the concept artists. It wasn't even the writers, with their panic attacks and 3-hour lunches. It was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding ambitions of the development team. They tried to make a 4 million real game with 400,000 in their bank account.
Même pas mal de bugs encore à niveau. Maintenant, Final Cut.
They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination. They couldn't.
On sait ce qu'il manquait, je comprends bien. Ouais.
No, you couldn't have.
Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? Bien sûr que j'aurais réussi.
Definitely not. Not a chance. Even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility that, despite everything, never entirely disappeared. That is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads.
Donc il ne présage rien de bon.
No, it was good. Too good. At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jim Spawn, Suliswaf Jalisa, decided that what Whirl Untethered needed was a secret mystical location at the extreme edge of the map. This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head would have been voiced on air by a professional actor.
Putain, quel délire, c'était qui ces gens?
The world had never seen their kind before, and might never again.
Il y avait combien de têtes?
So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined.
Combien de combinaisons possibles?
Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here. Good call. It's more than the number of atoms in the observable universe.
C'était le coup de grâce du coup.
Well, yeah, that and the catastrophic data loss.
Comment ça?
On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end where things get fuzzy and dark, where tables and numbers seem to vanish into an eerie nothingness, before the Egonian investors pulled the plug.
Okay.
What is clear is that one day an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian Lintel front, just as the World Untethered project was being compiled that day.
J'ai habité à Soncharbière et c'est à cause de cette anomalie que les données ont disparu par enchantement.
When the project was returned, it was completely blank. The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss.
Quoi, les mecs ont perdu le jeu en entier, ils sont sortis sans rien, sans avoir remboursé.
Always read the terms of service.
Putain la vache.
And let's face it, they didn't have any money left for a legal action.
Il veut qu'une copie de secours.
Mysteriously enough, it seems that the off-site copy happened to be on-site when the catastrophic data loss occurred.
Ah, rip.
It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the off-site copy and, well, keep it off-site. An explanatory note from the lead programmer has been attached.
Message qui dit quoi?
S. Lukanen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no off-site anymore. Not for me, not after 8 months of crunch. I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal.
Pas très convaincant tout ça, si.
Her former colleagues would agree with you.
Autre chose de la main de cette programmeuse en chef.
The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later.
Lire les notes de la fin.
4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under, too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers just left, cursing Martinez. They're right, though. Something's seriously wrong with this place. Martinez, all of it. Still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. Since the computation happened on air, I reckoned it had to coincide with an actually existing location. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Saint-Brun 1147. I am going there to look this thing in the eye. Saint-Brun 1147? That's what the street sign next to the church said. Tiles on the cube are still... The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Ok. Intéressant. Est-ce que du coup...
The bear's eyes are still a friendly cartoon bear. The paper still smells of...
Réalisé près de son lit. Ouais, bon. On va aller voir le fumeur. Hop. J'ai cru que j'allais marcher dans la merde. Hop. Quelle heure? 16h35, ok. Est-ce que ça je peux examiner toujours ou pas?
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Conceptualisation. Est-ce que j'ai des bonus là-dessus? Plus 1. Conceptualisation, plus 1. Hop. Normalement j'ai des lunettes je crois aussi. Projection, cyclopédie, non. Torique, projection. Ok.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Why must we stop?
Je suis nul à chier. J'ai envie de canner.
The door is you hear.
Ok, là ça peut à rien d'y aller. Hop. Mousse sur ces carreaux, ok. Je vais juste regarder s'il n'y a rien d'autre dans les apparts au cas où.
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire?
Nothing, nothing. You're right. Get in there. Deep. Invade every personal space. Break every lock.
J'ai de tout passer au peigne fin.
Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you.
Razir à Jamrock. Cordon tout blanc, ok. Pas un point pour... Ah tiens d'ailleurs, je vais pas intérioriser. Non, j'ai pas de point à déverrouiller. Vas-y, hop. Un nouveau ici. Vas-y, dame. Les vagues s'écrasent dans l'obscurité. On va aller au balcon, aller voir le fumeur. Putain, ma tête d'horrible là, putain. Ne bouge à peine, quelqu'un vous observe à l'intérieur. Ok.
A weathered brown door. Something smells good. The lieutenant motions to you. This is the door. You already know it's the right door.
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear light footsteps passing by the door and some folk music playing on the...
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need to... Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got dead. Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice.
J'ai pas envie de m'y coller.
Yes, it's hard. But there is no easy way to handle this information. It just has to happen. We can't. Someone has to deliver.
This only makes it harder.
Hello? Who is it?
And someone turns down the radio.
Sommes bien chez Billy Méjean, c'est la police, veuillez ouvrir la porte.
The police? A moment, please give us a moment.
Tidying up. Nervously. There's fear in her voice.
Come in, the door is open.
Ok. Hop.
It's you from the bookstand.
Toi, durant le moment, ne sachant pas quoi faire. Ah, c'est la tante de la gamine.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Merci, Sarah.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what. No, this is something much worse. Is he in a hospital? How bad is it?
Definitely no small talk. It's like ripping off a bandage. The least painful way is to do it straight away,
Parler du cadavre.
without stalling. I don't want to.
Mais il le faut.
I don't want to do this. Force yourself. Slap yourself.
J'ai l'impression qu'une partie de moi refuse d'y coller.
Do what?
Officer.
Too late. You ruined it. Just say it now.
Votre mari est mort.
Excuse me, what? What did you say?
She's in pain. She's in so much pain. And so are you.
We are very sorry to inform you, but your husband, Victor Méjean, was found dead this morning on the Martinez boardwalk.
Oh. Oh. But he was just...
He was just here. Alive.
I understand that this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. We are very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
What happened to him?
Tell
me.
Madame, je voulais pas le savoir.
Why? It's that bad?
You stupid. Why did you say that?
It looks like he slipped on the boardwalk. Fatally, I'm afraid. It was just a very unfortunate accident, although alcohol may have played a role.
And you just found him there? Lying in the cold? How long had he been there?
Quelques jours minimum.
She doesn't reply. Her eyes well up with tears. You hear the clock ticking in the children's room.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
It burns like acid.
God. Should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
En effet.
All right. I'll call them. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
Il est à la morgue.
And who should I contact?
He was taken to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number, in case you want to contact him earlier. Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still a bit...
C'était impossible, j'ai eu un truc au cerveau tapé.
Again, if there's anything we could do for you, then don't hesitate to call the RCM, ma'am.
She just nods, distant and inconsolable. The bed springs rattle beneath her as she begins to shake. These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon to a scream.
I'll take it from here. Thank you.
We should step outside and talk.
Posez la cardiothèque près d'elle, quittez la pièce.
So, the death notification.
He's avoiding your gaze. This is the time to say how sorry you are about how things went.
Je suis désolé, je sais que j'ai merdé.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. I'll call the station tomorrow and let them know the name of the deceased.
Et Billy et ses enfants.
There's not much we can do for them anymore, I'm afraid.
Et c'est tout.
That's it. We should get back to our case.
Mettons-nous au travail.
And, officer, I've seen worse. This wasn't the worst I've seen, okay?
I really have, he thinks. She was strong. She made it easy for us.
Hop. Allons parler avec le fumeur.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
Ah, c'est un soir éclatant, on tire une nouvelle bouffée, ça se
It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood, and his shirt is still unbuttoned.
Ainsi, votre indice, on a retrouvé la clé sous cette pierre.
Beautiful.
Il y a un énorme bruit dans ses yeux.
So tell me, Are you here to make things right again?
J'essaie simplement de rien faire faux et je suis pas venu afficher le tir. Il y a la section. J'espère parler avec un témoin potentiel au texte. J'essaie simplement de rien faire foirer.
Beautiful.
Je crois que des dons en menton. Sans se mettre ses alliances.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Ah, me semble être vendredi.
Yeah, it does feel like the end of the week. Such gentle weather. Even the rain feels nice.
Ouais, je voudrais rencontrer votre ami.
Trust me, you do.
Très bien, je parlerai, mais d'abord, savez-vous, je veux discuter. J'ai des tonnes de questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not...
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark, and the neighboring windows have lit up, one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his nervous system, 1,000 shivers ripple through his body.
Seulement si nous promettez qu'on se reparlera, c'est important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, alright?
Ouais, c'est d'accord, j'utilise une nouvelle armante. Disparaître dans la nuit. Le chose aussi différent lui, mais j'arrive pas à mettre le doigt dessus.
Different, of course.
Chemise, pourquoi sa chemise est toujours déboutonnée?
His shirt.
Si on la pousse après sa chemise.
His shirt.
He's trying to dive deep into the mysteries of his shirt.
His shirt? No, I don't know why his shirt is always unbuttoned.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend.
J'ai l'impression d'avoir loupé un truc visuellement sur lui, que lui il l'a vu, et que moi je suis en mode, j'ai loupé quoi? C'est le trimestriel. Oh, dramatique électrochimique. Prends ça. C'est de faire vraiment qu'on conduise un peu partout dans la charge. Hop. Je vois quelqu'un qui observe. La salle trempée dans une marmite. Prospectus d'une fête, prospectus de fête underground. Date de conférence d'une cité universitaire, tout ça des signes étranges. C'est revenu à quelqu'un en métal. Un peu de peinture, une coche de vieux journaux. Ok, on va pas porter ça, hein. Même c'est stylé, mais non merci. Hop. Hop.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Si on est contacté, retire c'est où son manchette.
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason you feel this man is your superior. Superior, but he's not in the command chain. His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stability on assignment from Sur-la-Clé.
Il me donne des airs de Hollande, putain. Travaille pour l'Institut de la Stabilité de la prie en Sur-la-Clé.
I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot. Yes, make it clear you're the one setting the terms here. Yeah, let's fuck with him. Who does he think he is? Assisting you?
Et avant tout, il faut absolument que je jette un... Et avant tout, dites-moi ce que vous savez sur ce... Et avant tout, dites-moi où vous avez déniché ce magnifique paiement en soi.
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. Personally, I think it's a little culturally insensitive, but the material is great. Sadly, the shop is now out of business. That's really all I can tell you about it.
That didn't work at all. What was that? You were supposed to fuck with him, not compliment the decor. The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to
Vous avez
proceed.
assisté au lynchage.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Attendez, lieutenant, notre chance sur l'enfant.
Easy, detective. No need to jump to conclusions.
Est-ce Est-ce parce que vous êtes coupable, monsieur Villeroy?
Because I did it?
He's clearly not a man accustomed to being spoken to in that manner, let alone to being accused of
Pour un con de papier, c'était vous, pas vrai? Non, je veux dire, qu'avez-vous vu?
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
Okay.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Interesting.
Pouvez-vous les décrire?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their
Combien
profanity.
était-il?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
Est-il les costauds parmi eux du genre 200 kilos bien pesés?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
Est-ce qu'il y en avait qui ressemblaient à des batteurs?
Drummers? Why, no. But then, I don't know what a drummer is supposed to look like.
I think we can drop the drummer angle. That was my bad.
Que s'est-il passé ensuite?
I went back inside.
Yes, back inside. Keep yourself safe from the killing.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man. All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
But we are fairly certain the lady driver was present.
Vous êtes sûr comment l'un d'entre eux n'était pas une femme?
It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, you must remember.
Quelle était leur ethnicité?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
Que s'est-il passé ensuite?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
Comment ça, il ne s'est rien passé? Un homme s'est fait lyncher.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Pourquoi ne vous avez pas appelé à MCR?
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening?
All I can say is that it was late.
On résume, vous n'avez pas réellement assisté à la pendaison, c'est ça?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Ouais.
It seems this wasn't the break you were hoping for.
Ouais, pas vraiment de chance.
I think we have everything we need. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Villedroit.
Of course. Anything I can do to assist the RCF.
Qui fait un officiel tel que vous, Martinez?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Ah bien, mais qu'est-ce que vous faites ici dans cet appartement?
Ah, well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
Donc vous êtes une sorte de bureaucrate.
Yes, as I said before, I'm a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Prie Stabilité. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Intern.
C'est quoi cette communauté internationale?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
Et qu'est-ce que j'appelle la coalition?
Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration.
C'est quoi la stabilité des prix?
It is the most important thing.
Ah, ça ne parle pas, c'est plus
It's
clair.
the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stabilité works to keep inflation just below 2%.
En dessous de 2% de quoi? C'est fascinant, mais j'avais autre chose à vous demander.
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
Répondez pas à toutes mes questions.
The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Avec plaisir, donnez-moi un prospectus.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
J'ai entendu parler de cette moralité, mais j'aimerais bien en apprendre davantage.
It's the International Organization for Moralists. Hence, Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition. But of course...
suis-je un moraliste?
Well, do you value freedom? Do you believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values?
Non, êtes-vous un moraliste?
Me?
You've managed to catch the lieutenant off guard, but only for a moment. He quickly recomposes himself.
I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Revachol.
A very moralist answer.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's
J'ai l'impression que
superiors.
Martinez soit très normal ou stable.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
Et le reste de Revachol, c'est partie du monde normal?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Je pense pas être un moraliste. Le moraliste a l'air mentalement ennuyeux. Je suis en manque d'action. Le moraliste, c'est une idéologie pour les occupants étrangers. Revachol doit être gouverné par la Revacholien. Ce n'est qu'une fumisterie, tant que la classe ouvrière à tous au bout du capital. Comme si chaque fois que je parlais à quelqu'un, je laissais l'option D. Aucune des réponses. C'est ça le moralisme?
Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer?
Oui, tout le reste c'est extrême. J'ai l'impression de vivre au milieu du monde cinglé.
Sounds like you're a moralist indeed, my friend. Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed, an ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend? Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to add? What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Revachol est-elle la coqueluche de Sur-la-Clé?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sir Leclerc's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Ok. Je vais juste fermer les volets, je reviens tout de suite. Hop là, j'ai ma dose d'économie, changeons de sujet.
Whatever you wish.
Vous pouvez me parler de votre ami?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
Comment êtes-vous devenu ami?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
De quoi parlez-vous? C'est pas comme ça qu'on devient amis.
Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too.
Vous m'avez toujours pas révélé son identité.
Sorry. Who?
Votre ami le fumeur sur le balcon, on était en train de parler.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
D'accord, mais quel est son véritable nom?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
Tout ce que vous pouvez me dire sur lui, c'est qu'il est ici pour étudier les arts.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
Quelle sorte d'art?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
Que faites-vous seul dans cet appartement?
I'm just enjoying the view.
Il fait noir dehors.
Listen.
A baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
Est en train de pleurer.
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay.
En train de m'intéresser à votre ami.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you've seen him around. He's a busy bee.
J'avais autre chose en tête.
I'm all ears, officer.
Voici tout ce qu'il me faut.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me?
Pourquoi est-ce que...
I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Et pourquoi est-ce qu'on ne se reparlerait plus jamais?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Merci tout, j'en ai terminé
Of course. I'm sorry I couldn't be the break you were looking for. Good luck with the investigation.
The Jamrock Shuffle.
Razia Jamrock. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
In a way, yes, you are treasure hunting. Most officers from Precinct 41 do what is called the Jamrock Shuffle, cracking open containers. Most of them are from Jamrock or Coal City, the poorest parts of Revachol, that also overlap with the network of royal catacombs called Le Royaume, just beneath the streets. As children, you would all go underground, hoping to find treasure, and come back with a rat's tail or a used needle. That playful curiosity must still be in you. Who knows, maybe one day the Orbe de Montagne, the Holy Scepter, and the Cocaine Skull will all be yours.
Bonus, ces conteneurs verrouillés rapportent du butin de meilleure qualité. Ok. Très bien. Hop.
Yes?
Ça c'est fait, spirituer sa vie. Crainte terrifiante, ça part pour la fascination par le mode de Dieu, pas avant que le monde survienne. Hmm. Tiens, il avait un... Ok, ok. Hmm. Ok, vas-y, on va se barrer d'ici, hop. Hmm. Y'a quoi avec Kuno? Faire ce qu'il sait, trouver de l'alcool et le boire. Thé. Hmm. On va aller voir Joyce. Hop. Alors si je peux lui poser d'autres questions. Hmm.
You're back.
All around you, rain keeps falling
Besoin d'un
down
manteau comme celui-là, la
on the
pluie est
wooden
glacée.
boards she's standing on, and on the water around you.
Sadly, I need this one myself. It's hydrophobic, repels water, almost magically. The company makes them for offshore platform personnel, very sturdy. What I can do for you is answer some questions. More lessons in basic reality?
Non.
Glad to have been of...
Tant pis, hop, on va aller voir le gamin Kuno et ensuite on va aller dormir tout en essayant de draguer d'abord la meuf. Hop. Hmm. Hop là, parfait. Hmm. Kuno. Est-ce que j'ai pas interrogé? Où est le reste de l'armure? Hmm.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad? Kuno doesn't give a fuck. You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in?
Je me suis déphasé pour passer à travers le matériau de toiture.
Shit. Get the fuck out of here. You can't do that.
He can't do that, Kuno. He's trying to fuck at you again.
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that teleport shit. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there,
Pourquoi
right?
cette tête de porc?
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
Sympa, tête de cochon, j'ai bien aimé, mais j'ai une tête de poulet, celle-ci, peut-être c'est de la merde.
What?
What is this shit? Fucking on yourself? This is weird level shit.
Fuck your shit back to normal.
Une
What is this?
plaque couverte de reste de poule, tu saurais pas ce que c'est par hasard.
That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
Good call, Pigmeister.
Je vais nous
Don't
parler du
come and talk
cadavre
to
avec toi,
Kuno.
Kuno.
The fuck about it.
Je connais que c'est...
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. That fuck. Do you remember Kuno?
Oh, come on.
Get the fuck. What are you?
Trying to fuck on
Kuno kicked that shit in the sea. Yeah? That shit means nothing to Kuno. You wanna fuck on someone about... Yeah? So yeah?
Yes, this troubadour has it. You can feel...
Your test... Get lost! Kuno does...
Ok, donc on sait où est qu'il a acheté l'armure, ok. Ok. Bon. Bon, ça c'est fait, c'est intéressant, ok. On va se téléporter au village de pêcheurs. Dire au revoir à Kim, hop. Carte.
It's getting late, and it's...
Good night, officer.
On va sortir un coup, hop, juste. Le temps de draguer un coup.
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it.
Suggestion.
When
Hop
does...
là, attends voir. Est-ce que j'ai des bonus de suggestion? Volonté, autorité. Empathie. Suggestion plus 1. Autorité, esprit de corps. Non. Manque, attends. D'autres trucs? Non, j'ai pas d'autres trucs encore. Ok. Hop. J'ai envie de la draguer.
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel.
Oh yes, she does. You need to get your...
Attends, on va recharger. Hop, j'ai envie de la draguer. J'ai envie de réussir les jets de dés un peu quand même. Putain.
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon.
Oh yes, she does.
Alcohol? Connect.
She doesn't even understand.
Merde. Je veux réussir. Je me suis fait refouler par la témointe. Je suis un
Hi,
flic
the
pourri.
sea's gonna calm down soon.
Oh yes, she...
Putain. Je fais un 1 et un 3. Faut que je vois sur quand je relance les dés si ça fait les mêmes résultats ou pas.
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon.
Oh yes, she does.
Non, 1 et 5, ok. Aïe 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 aïe, j'ai même pas regardé combien il fallait que je fasse.
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can...
Oh yes, she does. You need to get your drink on.
Faut que je fasse 15. Ça va être compliqué. 28% de réussite.
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon.
Oh yes, she does. You
J'ai quoi
need to
comme
get your...
bonus? 5, ok, donc faut que je fasse 10 minimum. Donc 5 et 5, oh putain la vache, c'est chaud, ouais. Ah, faut que je fasse 5, 6. 5, 5 minimum. Ouais.
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down.
You think she really needs more of that after a man died at sea?
Qu'est-ce que je dois faire alors?
What if I told you it is actually possible to go on a date sober?
Et qu'il est possible de sortir avec est-ce que tu sais qu'il est possible de sortir avec elle en étant sobre? Je t'écoute.
Before recorded history, men and women were able to do simple, very primitive things together sober. Acknowledge the situation and keep it basic.
Je suis un ivrogne, je sais pas si vous avez remarqué, du coup je demande habituellement aux gens de boire avec.
I have, and I don't really.
Bon, cette fois, il était un roulement de tambour. Je pensais que ce serait une bonne idée de vous demander de m'accompagner.
Just a walk? I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator.
Allez vous promener avec moi, je sais ça. C'est un mieux là, vous avez accepté de venir. Je le suis, c'est pourquoi vous devez accepter.
Where would this walk take us, officer?
Une plage avec une belle vue, montrer le nord-ouest au Finistère.
All right. I will walk with you. But you need to understand that nothing is going to happen. We're just walking.
Ben, je vais me prendre l'âme simple ici.
Me too. It's been ages since I just had a normal conversation with one of you guys. All right, I'll go put the kids to bed and we'll meet at Land's End in 15 minutes.
She doesn't wait for an answer. You better get ready. Was that acceptance? It feels so normal, nourishing even.
Hop. Hop. Alors je vais juste regarder sur la map parce que je ne suis pas sûr exactement où que ça se trouve. Hop. Disco Elysium. Finistère. Est-ce que votre ligne de Finistère, je vais juste regarder. Putain non, hop. C'est où que je dois aller? Ok. Ok, c'est le nord. Hop. Je pense savoir à peu près où c'est. Hop. Hop. J'ai envie d'arrêter d'être un sac à merde, mon personnage. Je vais réussir un peu des jets de dés quand même, de temps en temps. Sauvegarde rapide, hop. Est-ce qu'il y a des trucs là-dedans?
Just dead and the poor thing.
Dommage, rien de nouveau, hop. Ah bah elle est déjà là, ok.
The woman gazes steadily at the waves. A sudden gust picks up her dark hair and lets it fall again, tousled, wild. She brushes a few stray locks from her eyes, and only then spots you approaching.
Aye, so here you are. It's late and the sun is going down. It'll be dark soon. If we stay here long enough, we will be joined by a cortege of drunks and teenagers. Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what the locals call a make-out spot. That is not going to happen here today. I just want to make that clear, Dimples.
Elle a l'air surprise de me voir.
Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments.
C'est un truc de rockstar derrière terre de leur fait attendre. Ah, travailler à son rendez-vous pour un homme. Ne peut me convertir en adulte responsable.
So this is what this is. Responsible. Well, maybe it is. Maybe you'll have a revelation and crack whatever you're on.
Il faut que je sois à l'écoute de l'écoute. Ça a une bonne influence sur moi.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves now.
Her laughter is throaty and warm. It rhymes with the sunlit waves and the cries of the gulls. She nods to you, a playful glint in her eyes. As she turns to face the sun, reflected in the waves, and the skyscrapers rising across the bay, you cannot help following her steady gaze.
Vous savez, l'une de mes réincarnations passées se faisait appeler Tequila Sunset. Je me demande bien pourquoi.
It's a common Revacholian expression. Means drinking yourself to death. So, are you going to keep the name?
Néanmoins, je crois que le nom arrière du bois me convient parfaitement. Je m'appelle Harry, pas besoin d'un autre nom. Changez de tout, je vais avoir besoin d'un autre nom. On va finir par boire, je serai en crevé, peu importe le nom que je choisirai. Non, dernièrement, je crois que le nom Harry du bois me convient parfaitement.
Well then, Officer Dubois.
Signe de tête, puis se tourne vers la mer et vient par là.
The remains of the dying sun are reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers rising across the bay. Your mind clears for a moment as your senses take it all in. Not just the glass skyscrapers, fragile looking in the shimmering air. River Esperance flowing into the bay.
Isn't it strange for this all-powerful thing, the sun, to be so generous towards us? You know, the best time to go out fishing is usually towards sunset, when the water is warmer.
The sun also falls on the Capeside tenements and war-torn ruins. An old sea fortress juts out, seemingly impervious to the sheen cast over everything else, shaking you out of your reverie. The sun does little for the dead, and those hopelessly lost in their own minds, or people living in desert climates with sparse vegetation and little drinking water.
C'est pour ça que vous avez appelé votre bateau le Soleil?
Oh, that was a bit of pride and a bit of superstition.
Je ne pense pas que les habitants du désert vous donneront raison.
Now you're just nitpicking. But I concede. Maybe desert people sometimes disagree.
Profitez de la vue.
There's salt in the air, and the cries of the gulls and the skuas. Grit of the sand and the green glint of broken bottles. But still your gaze always returns to the dazzling streaks of light, wherever they may be reflected, their fading opulence.
It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. It's unlike no other powerful being, certainly no powerful organization or government. How can that be?
Il n'est pas ce qu'on pourrait appeler une relation. Et puis sur tout cela, c'est le politique, ça fait penser, il faut bien qu'on ait quelque chose de notre côté. Parce qu'il n'est pas humain, les humains sont des traîtres. Il faut bien qu'on ait quelque chose de notre côté.
I guess we wouldn't really be here if that thing wasn't on our team.
You would be incinerated, or worse.
Vas-y, on va tenter. Conceptualisation, on va augmenter un peu si je peux. Non. Fuck. Les hameçons accrochés aux oreilles.
These aren't real fishhooks, silly. They're earrings shaped to look like fishhooks. A drunk called Rosemary brought them to me. I kept them.
She's right. They're made mostly of plastic. A cheap novelty gift you can buy from a flower shop or a kiosk. The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the setting sun.
J'aime bien l'intonation de Vaudois.
Thank you. I'm half Ubi. My mother was from Ubi Sunt. Not a lot of sun there, I hear. Though I've never been.
The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the setting sun.
Ça ne vous tente pas de visiter le delta?
It's enough that my fish goes there. 50 real a piece they ask for spring cod.
Oui. Alors, à votre avis, qui a tué le pendu?
Good one.
She thinks it was a riddle. She must not even know of that business. Better that way.
Conceptualisation avec parler du soleil.
Say what? Something interesting? Impossible.
Allez, quoi, c'est important. Parfois, j'ai l'impression d'avoir le cerveau abouti. Je vais dire sur ça, je ne sais pas quoi dire d'autre, je suis désolé.
Thank you. Out there on the other planet, the sea, you start seeing things in a strange light. I'm glad I got to share it. You know, the wind's gonna pick up soon, and I have to go, but... Have this.
Oh.
The sun's good, but it doesn't stick things. I've no use for it anymore.
Être sûr de ne plus avoir besoin de l'épée, regardez.
No. Men around here are too drunk to pose a threat to me.
Vous n'aimez rien, vous promenez à nouveau avec moi?
Doubt it. But thank you for the company.
This is as far as it goes with her. You'd need to put a year between you and your last drink for anything more.
Merci d'être venu promener avec moi.
Farewell.
Eh ben, on a gagné une épée, on a gagné une épée. C'est 10 fois mieux. Inventaire, attends, voir outils. C'est vous pour donner un air. Let's go. Couteau.
Just dead, poor thing.
Alors on va remettre le vêtement qu'on avait avant. Hop. Hop là, très stylé en tout cas. On va se TP de l'église au truc de pêcheur, ce sera plus rapide. Hop. Est-ce que je peux me TP? Non. Par contre, le petit délai qu'il y a entre le sortie de la map est revenu à la normale. Ah non, c'est qu'apparatrice. Attends. Regardez s'il y a des trucs nouveaux à l'intérieur de l'église. Faire un truc sur la conceptualisation de ça là.
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting on a single pane of glass. A crack runs across the length.
Hop. Ça je peux pas, ok, améliorer plus.
The mother of humanism stands above.
Ok. Encyclopédie, alors. On va mettre des trucs qui donnent de l'encyclopédie si possible. Je crois que j'ai des lunettes qui me donnent de ça. Logique. Conceptualisation, logique, petit. Projection. Encyclopédie plus 2. Est-ce que j'ai d'autres trucs qui donnent de... Encyclopédie, non. Hop.
The mother of humanism stands above you. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still. And will haunt you forever. The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit. More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate inauthentic rule should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office. No, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi, she is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world. Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene la Navigateur, Queen of Suresnes, modern-day Sir Laclais. Also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty, draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long, slender form like this, dwarfed. The past. It's a silo of sadness, fermenting. You should keep away. Terribly. Women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous. It was on her advice that Irene la Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history. The DeLorean era. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even faraway Supramuindi, altogether 21 of the 40 mundial nations of the time, immediately accepted inauthentic rule, even before her crowning. In a city called Advesperaskit, in Vesper Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her terriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt. Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her terriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen. One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology. Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her. Good. Now back out of this corner of your mind by choosing the bottom option. To hell with this. You've been standing here long enough. But she was not hell. She is the opposite of that. The wind of paradise, stripping away the covers from the hearts of men. There you stand, below her once more, with your hands on your side, momentarily at a loss as well.
Ok, intéressant. Plus de l'or encore. Ça fait plaisir. Map, on va se déplacer au pêcheur, hop.
It's getting late. On the table, you see a bowl of water.
Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres trucs à faire là? Hop.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression fixed to your...
On va sauvegarder, hop. J'ai bien envie de l'enlever cette
An old
expression.
mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection. Like the rest of you, it comes...
J'ai envie de l'expression. Ça m'énerve de pas avoir l'expression. Depuis le début j'essaye, je mets des points dedans.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your... Like the rest...
42% de chance, j'ai pas regardé qu'est-ce qu'il faut que je fasse comme jet de dés.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your... It belongs in the new, the 3rd decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate, uncontested way of life for our species.
Okay.
Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling this the new style. But more importantly, disco happened. Forget about ostentatious orchestrations. For Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. Guillaume Lamillion, out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression.
Je l'ai adopté, pourquoi?
Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains.
Je ressens le besoin de faire un bruit de claquement en même temps. Clac, clac.
The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume Lemillion's regional mega hit, Don't Worry, Your Pretty Little Head. Sometimes you like to add finger pistols to the mix, because, unlike Guillaume Lemillion, you are a police officer. It's your nifty little way to say, I'm armed and dangerous.
Quand a eu lieu le renouveau?
There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression, looking good on you, or anyone. 2 decades, if the calendar is to be trusted. Humanity has run aground in that time. It's a different world now. The expression is a relic.
Autre chose qui je sais pourquoi j'ai bu. Je vais m'en griller les neurones.
You have some understanding of the near history of disco, plus the trivia you've picked up along the way. Episodic memory, however, remains in the dark. It may never return. You should prepare yourself for that.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a à voir avec Constantius Orchestration?
Not really. OO must have just stirred your mind. They're more like a disco rock band anyway.
C'est tout.
It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return.
Oui, c'est vrai. Électrochimie, il faut que je vois si j'ai des trucs qui m'augmentent en électrochimie pour essayer d'effacer cette expression de mort. Je crois que j'avais des trucs. Électrochimie. Non, ça fait frisson, non. Putain. Par contre, le kimono. Hop, clair-obscur, ok. J'aimerais bien dégager cette expression.
You see you're still not.
Putain, je veux dégager cette expression avant de finir l'épisode. Hop. Hop. Je veux la dégager, j'en ai ras le cul. Hop.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You still.
Faut que je fasse combien? 16. Oh putain. J'ai 42% de chance de réussir, donc chance sur...
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You still not happening. It won't come off that
combien? 2,
easy.
5, j'ai 7. Ouais. Je veux que ça dégage. Je fais des 17, il me faut un 3 et un 5.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. Still.
Je vais péter un plomb.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. Still.
Et puis au moins ça permettra pour le prochain épisode de voir Kim sans qu'il me voit avec l'expression bizarre là.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see it's like something snaps in you. A nerve ending. A thought. A sadness. Your face in the mirror is suddenly clean of the layer that had distorted it for God knows how long. Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had become. A sad old man looks back at you.
Ah.
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
C'était mieux avant en fait. Tant pis. Hop. On va reprendre nos trucs habituels. Ça on va enlever. On va reprendre les gants. Hop. Parfait.
The bed is comforting.
Dormir.
Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Okay.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Recorded in you forever.
unverity.
Ça tourne pour l'éternité.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
Mais j'ai pas envie, c'est beau.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
Je suis un agent du monde.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the working class.
Classe ouvrière.
For the money, baby. For the greater good.
Pour le bien de tous, sans empathie.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
On a fait du progrès, des progrès réguliers, mesurés.
There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Pourquoi?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
Sentir l'oreiller sur votre genou.
Beep, beep, beep! The alarm is ringing, Harry! The disco circus goes on and on! You barely slept 3 hours last night!
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go. Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time.
Ok. Très très cool.
Good. You're up. Listen, there's something that's been bothering you.
Quoi s'agit-il?
It's a suspicion, or a feeling really, that things are not quite in hand. An earth-shattering deduction from your psyche. What will those guys come up with next? Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't holding. And despite your efforts to moderate and contain these energies, things only seem to be getting worse.
Endroit au but, que dois-je faire?
You've got to find out who bears la responsabilité.
Je crois que c'était à moi d'emprunter. Voilà, ça c'est quoi exactement la responsabilité? Moi j'accepte la responsabilité.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This isn't some kind of dictatorship. You can't simply seize la responsabilité for yourself. It must be given by a legitimate authority, like a committee.
En même temps, pour ces conneries, qui devrait siéger à ce comité? J'aurais pas. Qui devrait
Only the most even-keeled minds in Martinez. The one you seem so set on driving away, the lieutenant, is a natural place to start. Together, you'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in Revachol. And, if necessary, you'll have the wisdom and expertise to assign it among yourselves.
Que se passera-t-il une fois que j'aurai fait?
Most likely, your findings will be collected in a report, which will be carefully reviewed by your superiors. Once they've reviewed it, those same superiors will produce a set of recommendations to be taken up at the next meeting of the Standing Committee. Rest assured, no matter what happens, it will be done through the proper channels.
Je prends endosser cet incroyable fardeau.
Good luck. Your report is eagerly anticipated.
Ok. Je peux pas interroger parce que j'ai pas d'autres points. Ok. Bonus par rapport aux réflexions. Ok. On va sauvegarder. On va s'arrêter là pour aujourd'hui. Sauvegarder. Hop là. Parfait. Hop. Menu principal. Confirmé. On aura bien avancé. Ça fait plaisir. On aura découvert qu'il y a un trou dans la réalité de 2 mm. C'est bizarre. Et on aura enfin parlé avec l'ami du dimanche, avancé sur l'enquête qui n'aura, je pense, pas amené grand chose en vrai. L'ami du dimanche, il faudra qu'on convainque Titus. Là, on va aller le convaincre, je pense, le plus rapidement. C'est de lui faire voir raison, de lui faire comprendre qu'il s'est fait manipuler. Et ensuite, on verra bien ce qu'il y a à faire d'autre aussi. Hein, à voir s'il y a des événements qui se passent, qui se déroulent ou autre. À voir. Hop. Bon, s'il y avait encore du monde, je vous dis la bonne fin d'après-midi, la bonne soirée, des bisous, bon appétit. Je ne sais pas s'il y aura de stream demain en fonction, vu que c'est bientôt Noël, hein, donc voilà. Sinon on se retrouvera pour un peu avant le nouvel an et après en fonction de les disponibilités. Attends, je vous dis bonne fête, des bisous, et puis à la prochaine. Allez hop, arrêtez le stream.